Hey, good morning. It's Labor Day, and
I'm laboring.
And Jeannie's laboring, but I labored all last night doing a Boston butt, and I'm doing ribs out on the egg. But Jeannie's baked beans are world famous amongst friends, family, and people that's ever had them. So she's going to show you how to make them today, and everybody just loves them. So.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, I'm filming.
Okay, I'm good.
So, what do you got in the pan?
Okay, so really this is the most simple baked bean recipe there is, but everybody loves it. It's quick, it's easy to make, you've probably got everything you need in your shelf. And I've got everything sitting out here, so we can just get started. Now, this morning I fried some bacon. And I went ahead and I chopped half of a big onion. If it's a small onion, just use a whole onion. And half of a large green pepper. Now, some people just doesn't like green pepper. If you don't, you don't have to put it in here. But personally, everybody that eats the baked beans says it's the green pepper that makes them.
All right, so what do you got in your bowl?
I've opened some beans, but I'm going to get to that point in
just
a second. So I'm going to go ahead and dump this in here. It doesn't take as much as you would think to give it that good flavor, but I had saved some of my bacon grease. I'm going to say 2 to 3 tablespoons maybe, and that's what I browned my onions and my peppers in, just enough to get them soft. They're going to bake a pretty good while, so they're going to go ahead and finish cooking in this. And save yourself some money, just get the cheapest pork and beans you can buy, because the flavor is going to come from what we're putting in it, and you don't have to buy the fancy baked beans to do this. And I always take this little piece of fat out because nobody likes it. Or at least my mom didn't. So I'll get all my beans in there, and I hope I'm not overfilling my bowl, but we'll get there. We'll see after I get my liquid ingredients in here. Now, I cook and don't measure a whole lot. I've been cooking a long time, so sometimes I go by recipe. It drives me crazy when I don't. So that's really why I try to do it. So I'm going to put mustard in here. And I would say just a couple of big globs, but Mike can zoom in on this and show you. If you don't put the mustard in it, you're going to miss it. That's probably 2 great big globs. Does that look like 2 globs to you, Mike?
That looks like 4 tablespoons.
Maybe 3.
Well, anyway, it's a couple of globs of mustard.
Now, your Worcestershire sauce, and we couldn't find it and thought we were out, but fortunately we had bought a 2-pack at Sam's or somewhere. So this is a fresh bottle. Now, you can overdo it on Worcestershire sauce. I'm bad sometimes to think if a little's good, a lot is better. Not so with Worcestershire sauce. You're going to get you a good spoonful. You can measure it if you want to. Get you a tablespoon. I have to look at it. That's plenty. More than that, and you would just be tasting way too much Worcestershire sauce. Now, the ketchup is the key. A lot of people's going to throw some molasses in there. A lot of people is going to put barbecue sauce. Plain old ketchup, I think maybe is why everybody likes mine so well. I don't know, but whoa. And I just really put the ketchup in here. If you want to say a cup with those 3 cans of beans, that's probably about right. Now, one thing that I did is I drained the pork and beans when I opened my can. I just held the lid on there when I had it partially off or all the way off and drained them good. You can put them in a strainer if you want to, but it's not that, you don't have to be that specific about it. Now, the last thing I put in here, and you have to stir it and let it sit here long enough to where that sugar just really gets worked in there. And I'm going to guess with these 3 cans of beans, maybe 3/4 cup of sugar. You remember, brown sugar's packed if you're measuring it, so that may look like a little more, but if that were packed, that's about what that's going to be. Let me break it a little loose. I hate it when you get to the end of the pack because it starts getting hard and you have to put it in the microwave to get it to soften up. So now, it's ready to stir up. Usually when I bake these, I like to bake them slow. Sometimes when we've been having a big meal, I have to work the oven around several different dishes. And I bake them around 350, but if you have to have an oven set on 400 for some reason, just watch them and take them out sooner. What you want them to do, though, if you can, is stay in there maybe an hour, hour and a half. And I have had to leave mine in there longer when I had it cut down way low baking a ham or something. And you can always taste them. Now, one thing I don't do is add salt, because that bacon grease that I used, and that really flavors it. You gotta have the bacon grease.
Have you put that in there already?
Well, it's what I sauteed the pepper and the onion.
Oh, okay.
And I always keep some bacon grease in the refrigerator, so if I want to eat the bacon, I don't have to put it in here. But I am going to crumble some of this, and I like to fry it crispy. I can't stand the thought of putting raw bacon in here. I know it'll cook in the process, but then it's still just raw bacon. Or looks like raw bacon. So I'll put maybe 4 of these in there. And then I'll let Mike have those on a sandwich in the morning. Scrambled eggs and bacon. Does that sound good?
Sounds good.
He's always fussing at me because I won't be on his videos. Well, let me tell you why. I stay at my dad's every other week. So when I get home on a Friday, I'm usually exhausted. And I put my pajamas on. And I stay in them the rest of the weekend. I change them from time to time, but I'm in my pajamas, and I'm not videoing myself in pajamas. I don't go to Walmart in them, so I'm sure not going to go on YouTube in them. So stir this up, and you talk about good. These are going to be good. I remember we've got 2 granddaughters and a grandson. Do you remember how well Kaylee liked these when she was little? Oh, she loved them, but the one thing she didn't care for was the green pepper. So I had to leave the green pepper out. Or sometimes, I'll tell you what I've done. It really needs that flavor. All you really need to do is just cut your green pepper in quarters and stir it in and let it flavor it, and then just take your green pepper out if people aren't green pepper fans.
And I think she's meaning a green bell pepper, not a chili, not a hot chili, but
yeah.
But it does add a lot of flavor, I can tell you, and I like them myself, but some of the grandkids don't, so they get what they want usually.
And when you feel all that sugar dissolved, everything in here is cooked. So I am going to taste it and make sure that it doesn't taste overly sweet or need anything else. Might need a little more ketchup, actually. You want to taste it, Mike?
Nope.
That's perfect.
She says that's perfect.
Yeah, that's perfect.
So if she says it's perfect,
maybe a little squirt of ketchup. I don't want this to boil over in the stove because I've done that and it's messy. I'll put a piece of parchment paper under it on the pan so it won't make a mess. And I bake this uncovered. Now, watch your oven. Depends on how your oven bakes, and ours has a mind of its own. You can put a lid on it, or you can put a little foil over it if you want to. And if it starts getting too brown, definitely do that, because you don't want to just burn on top. You can take it off near the end.
But the brown's what's good, so I like it brown real good.
And Mike says, don't make too many, we'll just throw them away. Well, once again, I probably have made too many, but since the kids are coming down, well, the kids that live here are. Our other son and daughter and wife lives in Arkansas, and it's too far away.
And granddaughter.
And granddaughter. What did I say? I said daughter, didn't I? But anyway, our granddaughter. They live in a little town. Everybody asks us where they live. And every time I start to tell somebody, I always say near Branson, Missouri, because it is near Branson, Missouri. But the town they live in is called Flippin, Arkansas. Well, when you tell somebody they live in Flippin, Arkansas, they think that you're throwing off on Arkansas. So we've just tried to work around that. I looked it up. It's actually named after a person. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to bake them, and if Mike wants to take a picture before we eat them, he can do that, so you'll have it.
We'll video it when they come out of the oven, so...
I'm making slaw and potato salad to go with it.
She makes the best potato salad in the world. I can tell you.
That's not another video, though, right?
Well, yeah, if you want to video the tater salad, we'll do that.
Well, we don't have
Out of the best potatoes in the world. But that's another video, she says. So we'll be back whenever they come out of the oven.
We'll show Mike's ribs and the Boston butt. Show the baked beans at least. How's that?
Sounds good.
Okay, make you some baked beans. Enjoy.
The whole time. Alright, there's what they look like come out of the oven, and they're still a-bubbling, but as Jeannie said, they'll set up directly, so stand by. So these are the beans after they've set up, and you see they'll stand up to a spoon and they get real thick. But that's what you're looking for, and that's an excellent bean. So she said she'd write the recipe down. All right, see you.